Hi everyone, Ramya Rajendran here. We are going to look at the US college admission process. I am here at C2 Education. This organization offers tutoring services and college counseling services to the students in the United States. It's a fast growing organization and they have presence across 17 different states including North Carolina, Georgia, New Jersey, California and Texas and so on. And today we have a very special guest, C2 Charlotte Center Director and College Counselor, Mr. Jonathan Peele. And today, for the sake of this video, I and Jonathan are going to assume you have no idea at all about US college admission process, and we are going to start from the absolute basics. Come on, let's welcome Mr. Jonathan Peele. Welcome, Jonathan. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So before we dive deep into the topic, may I request you to introduce yourself for our viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Jonathan Peele, the Center Director here at C2 Education of Charlotte. I've been in this role for about a year now. Prior to coming to C2, I taught high school speech and debate for 14 years at a variety of schools around the country, most recently for 8 years at Charlotte Latin, just down the road here from our center, and also had my own speech and debate summer camp. In terms of my own college education, I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in 2004, a long time ago, with a degree in political science, and recently completed a master's in education at UNC Charlotte.
Thank you, Jonathan. Honored to have you in our channel. Let's start with the most important factors a student should consider when applying for colleges in the United States.
Sure. The college admission process in the United States is anything but straightforward. There are a lot of factors that students need to manage in order to be a competitive applicant. And at C2, the advice that we give is the number one most important factor is a student's grades. Closely linked to that is the rigor of the courses that they're taking. So you want to earn the best possible grades in the most challenging courses that you can manage. Then third is standardized testing, so an SAT or an ACT score. And then it's a student's activities outside the classroom. And finally, the essay that they're going to write, or essays, that are part of their application. And those typically are about things that a student has done outside of the classroom instead of, their Chapter 5 test in math or something like that. But that's a broad overview of what matters. Generally, colleges are going to consider what a student has done from ninth grade onwards in a direct way, though obviously what they have done earlier certainly sets them up for success. And those applications are going to be due in the fall of their senior year.
Fantastic. Got it. Thank you. In general, when should a high school student start the college application process, applying for colleges?
Yeah, so the applications themselves, I would start working on in the summer prior to that senior or 12th grade year. But certainly the process of preparing yourself to be a competitive applicant begins much earlier than that. So a college is going to look again directly at the grades and the activities from ninth grade onwards. But even decisions that a student, a family makes in middle school and elementary school can affect, of course, what a student is able to accomplish in high school. For example, being on an accelerated math or foreign language track, building strong reading comprehension skills that make success in their schoolwork later more likely and easier for a student. All those things play ultimately into the college application. But again, to directly answer your question, it's really a process that you complete the actual filling out the forms, writing the essays, and clicking submit, beginning in that summer prior to 12th grade, and then actually in the early fall submitting the application.
Thank you. When should a student begin preparing for SAT or ACT test?
Sure. That also varies a great deal. The most common time for a student to finalize his or her SAT score or ACT score is in the spring of their 11th grade year. But it doesn't have to be then. If a student is still trying to improve their score and needs to test a little bit later than that, there are options to do that. And then some students complete their testing early because they just want to get it out of the way. Relevant coursework is still fresh in their mind. So you will see students complete their SAT, ACT sometimes as early as their 10th grade year. But the right time to begin preparing really depends on a couple of factors. Number one, what is a student's goal? So, the journey to getting a 1500 on the SAT typically takes longer than the journey to getting a 12 or a 1300. And then also, what is their starting point? So, we'll see students who come in as ninth graders and they'll take a practice test with us and they'll earn a 900, which feels and can, I guess, kind of is a long way from their goal. But, with 2 or 3 years of hard work, yes, they can still hit any number that they want to, but they need to get started urgently. Whereas a student who comes in and may already be at a 1350 and ultimately wants a 1500, no, their process is typically not going to take as long.
So it's early to test yourself where you are so that you can plan the rest of the years.
That's right. I think it's wise for any ninth grade student somewhere along the way to take a practice test. I'm not saying go register for an official test date, but take a practice test at home and just get a sense of where you are. Obviously, you can come in and do that with us as well, but that will really let you know when you need to begin your preparation, and of course some idea about what your goals are.
That's fantastic and very insightful information. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for covering the basics. With the time in mind, I would like to close this interview with this basic information, but I have planned a big list of questions. I'm going to ask Jonathan his valuable inputs for each and every question, and then planning to share it with the audience in a shorts form. So with that, thank you so much, Jonathan, for your time and such a great information.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity to appear on Let's Share Our Journey. And I would say to all of the parents and students watching, continue to watch these podcasts for important information like this that will truly help you along the way. And if you need further support, definitely come see us here at C2. We'd be happy to help.